All right, and a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Saturday, October the 12th. It's college football day here. Great games, biggest weekend of the season here today, and we have all the games to look at. We'll be here for 2 hours plus and give you a pick, hopefully, on every game if I can get over my depression. I'll just have to move on with the next stage of my life after the Padres lose to the Dodgers. Okay, we have the Dodgers here. I get it. Ramon picking against his Padres, and who does that? But just felt like, hey, when you can't hit and you can't score, you're not going to get very far. So was a great win there for the Dodgers. They'll be moving on to take on the New York Mets in the National League Championship Series. Who will face one of those two teams in the World Series? Well, we know we know it'll be either Detroit or Cleveland today, with a chance to move on to the American League Championship Series, where they'll face the New York Yankees. But one more game to go here in the division series today, just hours away now, 3 3/4 hours away here with Detroit. On the road with Scooble taking on the Guardians today in Game 5. Winner moves on to the ALCS. And, we'll lead off the coverage certainly with the Major League Baseball game, but then we'll get all into college football here for today. And, I think we'll have to go over that hockey card today. Massive card, every team pretty much in action. There was one postponement. Hopefully everybody's doing fine down there in Florida. Did see a little bit of adjustment in the schedule this week with some of the football games. But hello to everyone. Thank you for joining me here. We'll just pretty much get rolling with the show right away, actually. We won't harp too much on what happened yesterday, but I want to point out that Team Steam consensus winner yesterday with the Northwestern Wildcats. Great job, Team Steam, making the pick there, with Northwestern to get that win against Maryland yesterday. Great job by Team Steam. All right. And let's see who's here. Say hello and get ready going with the show. Hey, everybody, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. This is my assistant, Thomas Lewis. He's looking up the best plays from the chat, sharing them with everybody, calling it our consensus. So subscribe to our channel here today, Sports Money here on YouTube. Wine Time is here. Good morning. Also to Patrick. Hello and thank you for joining us today. Nicholas Handy's here. He wants to talk Flyers hockey with the win yesterday over the Vancouver Canucks. How about it? They're 3-2, holding them down, getting that win yesterday. And let's see who else there. Sharpie, hats off to the Dodgers there, Sharpie. And the Dodgers, the team total under cashes, and they still win. And, well, will I ever celebrate a championship in anything? I don't know. Good morning to Robert McCormick as well. All right, everyone, it's a big day here on Saturday. We'll get right into the action, but I'm going to give you a bunch of winners here, hopefully, in just a moment on plays. So many plays. I got so many sheets here. I don't even know if we'll get through all of them today with these college football games. But for my best plays, they'll be out and about over on the Winnable app. you could follow me and get my premium picks here. Yeah, I could come on here and give out free picks, but I do have a paywall as well, and you can check me out here over at the Winnable app. Check out my plays over there. I have some free plays that come out as well. You can sign up for free and get free messages from me. Just plays, pretty much. Sometimes if it's a big game, I'll have a little synopsis or preview of the game. But with so many games, this is sports betting season. So check me out over at Winnable. You can subscribe to my best picks as well. I used to charge $25, $35, $45 for a handful of plays on a Saturday, but I've changed all that. I come on here on the Sports Money Network. I said, Mikey, I'm going to come over there to the channel if you don't mind and run the morning steam, but still going to be all about that tout life. So, hey, this is how you really support me on the channel. Might not necessarily be about the plays when you look at the prices there that I charge, I guess, for it, but lets me know you're paying attention, subscribing, and all that. And hey, I come on here and give a bunch of plays over, a 2-hour show, but I'm not just done for the rest of the day watching all the games. So get my updates throughout the day, and I'll have more plays today. I already sent out my early release of the morning games, and I'll have more later. I've also have my UFC package out, and I'll have a hockey card tonight as well. So should be a pretty fun day. We'll probably find another sport or two. There's some NBA preseason. We've been doing well in NBA preseason. Had another winner there with a VIP card last night with Detroit. We had some winners here on the show yesterday. Sacramento and Golden State game to go under. We had that one as a winner on the show. Portland and the Clippers under. We had that one as a winner on the show. Philadelphia and Minnesota over. We had that one as a winner on the show. Did we win every play on the show yesterday? It feels like. How about the Washington Wizards? We had them as a play on the show. Man, did all the NBA plays win yesterday here on the show? Why sell them when you can give them out for free? All right, check me out over at Winnable, winnable.com/Ramon, and you can save 20% by using the promo code STEAM. And it's only $20 a month to get my plays, like $8 a week right there. Sometimes it goes up or down depending on how many games there are. But please check me out, subscribe for free. And all the sales are powered by Stripe. That's a popular payment e-commerce platform with the phones. So you can check me out there. It's going to be a big day. Appreciate it. All right. Where am I at? There I am. Okay. Oh, boy. All right. And team no sleep here after I watched a bunch of high school football. I've been working on the card all night, and I just got done watching some great tennis action. Man, how about Taylor Fritz? He almost, he lost in straight sets to Novak Djokovic, but he made it pretty close in that second set. That one just ended moments ago. Also, Qinwen Zhang just beat Xinyu Wang over there in a ladies match. Here's they got down to the finals there over in China. All right, no reason to say hello to a few more people. Get rolling with the show today with Luke is here. Robert is here as well. Thank you, Luke. And Udaya Sarenga says, how about the Tigers today? How about it? And Hugh Janice is here. Real Madrid Doge is ready to go in this one for the show today. Lando's here as well. Joseph Alvarado. Hello. Jermaine is here. And Curtis is here. Go Dodgers. Go Dodgers. Have to put my Dodger blue hat on or something here. Oh, well. Another year. Hey, not getting any younger, not celebrating any titles. Maybe I got to switch to all these Las Vegas teams. They always win. All right. Here we go. Justin as well. Thank you for joining us. I'm just going to go down the games in college. Well, let's go to the baseball game first since we had a request there. But also, it is the big game of the day. No matter how big these college games are, you got to go to it. David Wallace, hello. Thank you for being here today, member of the Sports Money team. And thank you also to everyone in the chat all-stars. Hello, stars. And get ready for their picks here today. In college football, remember, if it's Thomas and I, that's a consensus play. In baseball, we know who he's going to go with in the first game. Let's take a look at the matchups here for the game with the Tigers taking on the Guardians. Not much to preview here. We're ready to go today, in just a couple of hours in Game 5 with Tariq Skubal on the mound. And certainly that, is going to give the Tigers their best chance here in this one, going up against Matthew Boyd. And we said, look, for Boyd, been fine, it feels like, so far with the Guardians and done a pretty decent job, a 2.44 ERA in 9 starts, and the Guardians 6-3 with Boyd on the mound. He's done very, very well with a 216 batting average against, and could tone down the walks a little bit, especially going up against a man here like Tariq Skubal. Skubal, a 2.24 ERA this season. The Tigers 23-10 with the likely Cy Young Award winner on the mound. Terrific every time, and no reason why he won't go out there and be dealing in this one. It's just a matter of, can the Tigers score? We know the Guardians have had a tough time putting up runs on the board in this series, but they're able to get extended here and get to this 5th game. So should be a really terrific game here tonight. I'm going to take the under for sure. I've got Skubal dealing. Why wouldn't he? It just seems like, if there was any hiccups during the regular season for Skubal, they were few and far between. And with such a big game, I would imagine he'll be in very strong form, it feels like here to me. I'm just going to take the under. It's 6 runs after all, so what are you going to do here? You got to expect a low-scoring game. And, hey, the bullpens are pretty solid, too. Detroit's done a nice job with their bullpen. We know Cleveland's had a solid bullpen all season. Detroit certainly has a little bit of a tough situation here going up against Boyd with some of these hitters. And what is the status with Kerry Bonds? Is he on the injured list in this game? Let me take a look here. He is questionable with that leg here. He hit that big home run a couple of nights ago. So I'm still taking the under here. Tigers and Guardians in a good one. I put my premium pick out there today already for the game, but let's see if you guys have anything in this one with... All right, Sancho, thank you for your pick of the day here. Jermaine wants the under in this one. Thomas is going with the Guardians and the under. Philly Eagle Flyer says it's going to be tied in the 2nd. It's going to be tied in the 3rd. It's going to be tied in the 4th. It's going to be tied in the 5th. Will it go extra innings? Philly Eagle Flyer says it will. Why not throw a flyer on the extra innings here? If it ain't boring, it's boring here today. And, if it ain't boring, it's boring. Is going to have to pretty much focus on the domestic card here. Yeah, there's some soccer action. We didn't even bring it up here for the most part, it feels like. Because, UEFA Nations League today. There's action in the smaller leagues in England, but pretty much a weekend off here for major soccer leagues with, of course, the international week this week. So we'll be covering our major sports here. Robert's going under in this one. And Johnny, well, you know what? Actually, you're supposed to say, it's not like someone coming in the chat and making one of those funny names, right? I mean, it's trolling, or that is Hugh. I mean, Hugh in every chat, he's making real sports betting comments. So you got to call him what he is. but we just call him Hugh Janis because, it is a little bit more polite. But, like I said, it's not like he comes in making up some name like Amanda Hugginkiss or what are some of the, I don't want to say them all, just trying to keep it clean, but remember on Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and they kept calling the public address to get them to come to the phone. Okay, all the different funny names. All right, that's going to do it, I think, for the baseball game. Enjoy it today. And, it's going to be right in the middle of football, but it's got to be top of the. And if anything, that football card, there's some decent games, but it is a little bit light there with the major games on the noontime card. So I think baseball will kind of be the feature there for most of the fans. So, all right, let's go now. Let's move along. And, college football Saturday, it's all about the picks. It's all about my picks. It's my show, but I want to hear from you if you've got a pick. Don't be afraid. I mean, I think that's the one thing, Public Enemy. I'm so glad Public Enemy found us over here. But, I think one thing is don't be afraid to put in your pick in the chat, even if it's a lean. And you don't even need to call it a lean. The reason why I make a pick here on every game is because I'm just thankful for you guys to come and watch the show and everything. I've handicapped every game, so the least thing I could do is give you an opinion on it. Sometimes if I just have one opinion on the game, if I like just a side or a total, you're probably getting my best pick on it. Hey, if I like the side or total and I make it a premium, you're probably getting the second best pick from me on the day, but it's because I've looked at each game all week long, put it all in my notes here, ready to go with all the games, with all my notes and all that. So ready to make some picks with you, and I want to get your picks from the chat. All Stars, I know football's a different breed, and maybe you are. Sancho says he's got it. He's got that boxing match today, certainly in the chat. And Terrell says, watch out for that weather tonight. Dabby, hello. Join Dabby today on his coverage, certainly. With, I imagine, the one thing I'm teasing Dabby and the guys over there across the street about the early game, they keep picking an ugly blowout. Today, at least, I don't know what they will do. I didn't look. I apologize to Dabby. Maybe he'll tell us what game they're doing. But, like I said, with all due respect to Dabby's show, maybe should have moved it to 3:30 today. This early card's not too hot, if you know what I mean. I imagine maybe Wisconsin and Rutgers. Oh, no, probably Washington and Iowa. You got a transatlantic game there, it feels like. Well, not transatlantic, but, you got Iowa and Washington in a close game. So just unfortunately for those guys and they're running their companion broadcast, we've had blowouts in a lot of them. So, yeah, and we got UFC. Dabby says we're starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific today for the UFC. So, Nasty Nate says it's at 3. Okay, I thought it started at 4. Thank you, Nate. Appreciate that. My time here does say that the first fight is at 4:05 with that Carpenter Roca fight, but let me know on that. I'm just going off the line services, so maybe it is at noon, but I thought it was at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. All right, let's get rolling. I've got to make these. I got to make a bunch of picks without a bunch of previews, I guess, is what it feels like. But at least we'll give out some tidbits on the games and a pick on each one. And I'm just going to load them up here and get ready to roll with our football action. And we're going in, chronological order here with a little bit of also rotation order in those. So pretty fine-tuned here. Let's take a look. Missouri is going to square off with UMass in this first game here. And you got Missouri coming in a 27.5 point favorite, total 54.5 here in this one. And Missouri is head and shoulders better than UMass. They might be more than 4 touchdowns better, it feels like, but they're just 2-3 so far against the spread. Meanwhile, UMass UMass comes in 1-5. They are 2-3-1 so far against the spread here. I'm going to end up taking the over in this game. If I've got a blowout, I mean, I think Missouri certainly is going to get their own. For UMass, they do come in averaging nearly 20 points a game. Now, this is a pretty big step up in class, taking on the top 10 team here, certainly. But I don't know, Missouri. I feel like Missouri might be able to roll here a little bit, but I'll take over 54.5 here in this one. You look at it, opened up as low as 52.5 at some books, but Bet Online opened it up 58. I guess that's why it's fallen right here in the middle at this point. I'm showing handicappers favoring Missouri by about a 2-to-1 ratio here right now. Hey, if you subscribe to my plays today, you get a great consensus report where I've taken the consensus reports of a bunch of different sites and I've meshed them all together, and I give you a big list of games of which games that professional handicappers, kind of like me, guys selling their picks, touting their wares, are on. So you can check that out over at Winnable or subscribe to my picks today. You don't need my picks. I just probably gave you about 350 of them with the consensus report. I'll throw in my picks too. How about that? Maybe we got a play or two from the chat as I try to I don't know if I believe it, Hugh, but I have to believe it because you're such a great contributor. So, all right, Jermaine says he's got the team total over for Missouri today. All right, they were underway with the first game here, certainly with Missouri and UMass. Let's keep it rolling here. We're going to try not to spend more than a minute on a game, I would think is what we're supposed to do. Ball State and Kent State in this one. And boy, I've seen handicappers really preferring the over in this game. And also they do like Kent State here by about a 3-to-1 ratio today. This is probably the ugly game of the day. So this one probably isn't worth 30 seconds in this one. Both teams are pretty crummy defensively. Ball State gives up 48 points a game. Kent State gives up 51 points a game. Are they going to score 100 points in this game? Well, the offenses probably aren't quite good enough. Kent State's only averaging a couple of touchdowns a game, it seems like. They are 0-5 against the spread so far this season. But Ball State, they're nothing special either, it feels like. Yeah, they're 1-4. They are 3-2 to the number so far, but we know we rate Kent State among the bottom teams here right now, but look at the move. It's been on Kent State for the most part this week. It opened mostly about 6, maybe 7. Yeah, Circa opened it up a little bit higher, those crazy guys. But I'm going to end up here on Kent State. They might be the worst team in the country, everybody tells me here, but seems like some people are taking them at this point. Tickets are relatively split in this game. 7 out of every 10 tickets are on the over in this one with Ball State and Kent State. This game's so bad, I'm going to give out the side and the total here. I'm not going to give out any premium in this debacle. But I will add, though, I am taking the over as well. That was a very, very popular choice of handicappers, probably based on those numbers, certainly. I would think that the offenses aren't quite good enough to get 100, if you know what I mean. But I'll take the over. Give me Kent State and over in the ugly game of the day. Why are we even talking about it? All right, let's take a look here now at... Oh, I'm so glad. Let's see here. Another Missouri team total over there. I can't believe we've got Sports Money Troll here. I'm looking forward to that. Rich Stubbs says, give me ball and over. Sancho wants to go over as well. And Joe here is on the over. And Terrell says, always give me the over right now when the MAC is playing. Public Enemy wants to go over the 60 as well. This one was as low as 57. I actually might have put it in as a premium, but I like to go, the tougher match. I say tougher matchups, the uglier matchups. Sometimes I don't like to get involved in the premiums when you got some volatility involved. And Sancho, like in that Alabama game, he's ready to roll with the next games here. Let's keep it going. No need to spend a lot of time there. Clemson taking on Wake Forest, but we just did. Today, Clemson on the road, another early blowout here, it looks like, with Clemson favored by 3 touchdowns on the road. I'll take them in this one. I certainly think they can get theirs here against Wake Forest today. This total all the way up to 62.5. That's been moving higher, certainly this week, with Clemson now a 20-point favorite. The total opened mostly around 60. Circa opened at much lower, closer to 55. But certainly the move here on the over. We're seeing handicappers that I follow clearly on the over in this one. They also prefer Clemson by about a 3-to-1 ratio in this one. So I'm going to take Clemson here and lay 3 touchdowns against Wake Forest here today. All right. And the troll says, tough break for the Padres. Oh, man, I was bummed there. And new member here, you know what? Look at Gorion. And he said, you know what? I'm Gorky now. That's what he is. It's just easier. And everybody's was trying to say his name. I was trying to say his name. I think we got it right eventually. But I like Gorky. Thank you, Gorky. I'll probably remember that. Thomas says, take Clemson in this one. Gorky says, give me Washington money line against Iowa tonight. And we'll preview that one down the line here a little bit. Keep it rolling right now with the next one up. It's a better game here, certainly, in the MAC today. And look at that total, 444.5. This is going to be the greatest game of all time. Better fix that. But 44.5 for these two pretty solid teams here right now. Toledo comes in with a 4-1 record at this point. Buffalo comes in 3-2. Both teams are 3-2 to the number. Toledo's gone 4-1 to the over so far this season, while Buffalo has gone 1-3-1 to the total so far. I'm going to take Toledo. I'm going to lay 11 points. I certainly like Toledo laying 9.5, laying 10. Now we're all the way up to 11. It might be lower pretty much everywhere. I'm seeing 10.5 now, pretty much the standard number here in this one. I'm showing handicappers relatively split down the middle, but I show the public heavy on the over here in this one. 19 out of every 20 tickets appear to be on the over, with Toledo and Buffalo on that short number today at 44. See, you guys might have some comments here in this one. And Terrell says Wake doesn't have the offense there. Clemson gets rolling. Thomas might be on the under here in this one. And Hugh says, give me Iowa. And Thomas may be going under in this one. Justin likes Buffalo here plus those points. And Goron's been up and down, I think he's saying there. Gorky says, keep rolling here right now with Georgia Tech on the road, taking on North Carolina. I know they're taking on North Carolina. That was a typo there. Let me fill it in. North Carolina. There we go. That was a part of Team No Sleep here, it feels like. And there's time to sleep later tonight with that light card and NFL tomorrow. So let's party. Georgia Tech here on the road against North Carolina. I figure this one would probably be a pretty tough game right now. Look at this total up here to 60.5. This is another one where we've seen the total move higher here, but I don't know. I mean, I would think North Carolina has a chance to maybe limit Georgia Tech a little bit. I know that the public here, showing nearly 2/3 of the tickets right now are on the under in the game. But I guess the perception is between the two teams that it will go over. I'm just going to take Carolina plus the points here at home. I know it's been a little bit rough going here right now. Carolina just with a 3-3 record here thus far. And let me get the right listing up here with my numbers and these guys. North Carolina so far, they have not been able to cover the spread yet. 5-1, but I'm going to take them here today. I'm showing handicappers slightly leaning towards North Carolina, taking these points at home. Tech is 4-2 straight up, 3-2-1 against the spread. They're 1-5 to the under so far this season, allowing just 19 points per game. I'm going to take Carolina, though, here to get that first spread win, at least today. And thanks to the chat for really looking good here, it feels like. Sancho was on Buffalo. Remember, in Saturday, I would try not to get too far off track with the consensus for Thomas, but you can put in any play at any time on a day like today with a billion games. I don't expect you to stick all the way around. We got 100 of you, close to 100 of you in here right now, so appreciate it. Georgia Tech here for Thomas. Patrick says, I got Carolina here. Terrell says, after last week, it's going to be a little bit of a letdown. He likes the Tar Heels, possibly with the money line. And take a look at Irish King. He's got his hockey plays ready today. And so if you need a little hockey now, get it while it's hot. We've got a great card here, a big, long hockey card today for sure. And we're going to try to get to those picks at the end of the show. All right. David here says maybe just take Carolina. Yeah, not a great game, certainly. But like I said, these early games are a little bit, it's not the best schedule at noon. No doubt about it. It feels like. All right. Next up is UAB and Army. Yeah, I see what you're saying, right? UAB and Army here. Oh, man. I try to tout my guy, my one of my old coaches that I've covered for a long time, covered him as a young player as well, and he's an assistant with UAB. We interviewed him before the season just to see how he's doing. And look, I think they get a pretty bad rap of what's going on right now, but it obviously hasn't been great, and it's going to be a tough game for UAB today here against Army. The spread is way out of control here. When you think of it, it was as low as, I'm sure, 23 and a half. I expect Army to be able to crush here. Right now they're 5-0 against the spread in this one. Handicappers are unanimous on the over in this one at 56 right now. I'm going to still take Army. I feel bad for my guy, Coach Mitchell. And Army, though, right now, I know everybody's talking about it. I was one of the first talking about it. Can we see Army and Navy meet in the Army-Navy game with undefeated records? Wouldn't that be something? UAB 1-4 straight up, 2-3 against the spread. They've gone over in 3 of 5 games so far this season. But Army 4-1 to the over so far this season. I'll just take Army here to cover 4 touchdowns against UAB. So, all right. Take a look here. Sports Money Trolls. You can't afford the free subscription there with me. That's okay. No problem, my man. But yeah, I do business a little bit different than everybody else around here. No problem. Hey, that's everyone has their own way of doing things. But, I'm coming up here 7 days a week. So, okay, let's take a look here at Army for Thomas. Gorky says, give me Army by 1,000. Irish Kings on the Tigers in this one. Patrick says he wants Army to get into that playoff. Public Enemy does like the under here in this one. He's probably think it's going to be 49-0. I would think. Rich says the over here. And Terrell says, not only is Army going to win every week, they're going to cover every week. How about that? And they will end up being an underdog, I'm sure, against Notre Dame. I want to say Notre Dame's hosting both of those games against Army and Navy. Okay, anyways, give me Army here. Really pulling for UAB. I don't want to see them, break things up down there. Give my guys a chance there to turn UAB around. Remember, they almost canned the program, so cut them some slack. All right, Wisconsin and Rutgers here, Big Ten action today. And this one's relatively split from cappers here. You got Rutgers favored here by 1.5. The total 44. Rutgers comes in 4-1, 3-1-1 so far against the spread, averaging nearly 30 points a game so far this season. And for Wisconsin coming in, they are 3-2, but just 1-4 so far against the spread. And for me, I'm going to end up on the under in this game at 44. I almost like it as a premium. This one's gone up, it feels like, most of the week and kind of brought it in, but I'm not so sure on the side here at this point. I've kind of taken a pass a little bit on the side. On the show anyway, I'll probably throw a little bet down, but I'm not even going to give it out as a public play. I'm indecisive in this one. Handicappers relatively split as well. I'm showing about 55% on Wisconsin here, so I'm going to take the under though at 44. Was as low as 39, 38.5. I think that's a pretty good deal. I probably would have moved this one maybe to the premium status if I would have had a side maybe to give out here on the show, but just goes to show I'm not just throwing out picks. If I don't have one, I give out my best play on the show. Whether it's good or not, that remains to be seen, but just kind of an insight to how I'm running this whole with those tout plays, with the free plays, and the complimentary plays, the show plays. I think every game, look, I'm going to fall right on the line on some, but I can't, and I get it. You want to pick your best plays, but I'm here giving out a play on every show. Oh, man, we're getting rolling here a little bit. Let me just interrupt because we've got our steam coming in on the FCS games. We know it's been pretty solid. If you've been following, you might be here just for that. It feels like some of that steam's been pretty hot. Dartmouth is our first of the day here. Dartmouth was as much as a 3.5-point dog against Yale here, coming up at noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific. Now Dartmouth looks like they're going to be a 2-point favorite here. Big move on Dartmouth today. I'm not saying just always blindly go with these moves on the FCS board when these come in, but again, I'm looking at the numbers here, telling you, look at that move, Dartmouth. That's a pretty big move right there. All right, here we go. Let us see what else we got with Thomas on Rutgers, but Patrick is on Wisconsin. Bad. Rutgers for Justin. Rich says Wisconsin and under. We're all over the place. Terrell's got Rutgers in there. And Robert is on Rutgers. Maybe it's starting to lean a little bit of Rutgers with the team steam play, but I'm going to take the under as my play here. Next up, you guys were just mentioning South Carolina and Alabama, and you got the Crimson Tide here favored by 21.5, the total 50.5, showing handicappers preferring Alabama by about a 2-to-1 ratio. Handicappers also preferring the under here by about a 2-to-1 ratio, and that's probably the direction that I'm going to be headed in this one. I'll also look for this one to go under as my play in the game with South Carolina and Alabama. Let me get the figures here a little bit. Alabama 4-1, of course, ranked first currently. By most accounts, right? If you think about it right now, but certainly a 4-1 record, 3-2 against the spread. South Carolina 3-2, 3-2 ATS. Bama's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. Your power ratings may differ here, of course, but I go with the power ratings a little bit. Mine. And so it may be a little bit different than what you have. I'm going to go with the under here in this one at 50.5. Don't know if Alabama's offense gets rolling that big here. Let's see what we got. Joseph was on Rutgers. Public Enemy likes Wisconsin in that other game. And Thomas is ready to roll on this one. He likes the Gamecocks here, plus 21.5 or so in this one. It opened mostly, I think we're looking at some 22s here even right now. 3/4 of the public tickets are on Alabama in this one, and 7 out of every 10 tickets on the total are on the over here with South Carolina and Alabama. All right, another good one here. You guys talking about it as well with an early start with Washington taking on Iowa. Like I said, maybe this will be the featured game over there across the street for their show today with Iowa here, a 2.5-point favorite. Iowa 3-2, 2-3 against the spread. They've gone over in 4 of their 5 games so far this season. I'm showing handicappers are heavy here on Iowa. Probably 5-to-1 ratio, at least 4-to-1 ratio, if not 5-to-1 ratio here. Washington's gone under in 5 of their 6 games so far this season. I'm taking Iowa to win here and cover the number. Take the Hawkeyes here in this one. Washington 2-1 in the Big Ten so far. Iowa 1-1 in the Big Ten so far. But both of those were on the road. This is Iowa's first conference home game of the season, and they are 0-2 so far as a home favorite in their non-conference games. Here comes another move right now on that added board. Let's check it out and keep the action moving here. You'll have to be fluid with me as I keep interrupting, but I want to get these moves out to you and you can assess them. Fordham and Holy Cross. We're seeing steam right now come in on the under here. Look, this one opened as high as 60.5 at some of the books. You know, FanDuel opens those numbers up a little bit early on the added board. Was as high as 60.5. It's down near 56.5. This has been a pretty big move this week, and now the steam is coming in a little bit more here on the under with Fordham and Holy Cross. All right, I'm on Iowa here in this one against Washington today. And what do we got? Robert liked South Carolina in that other game against the spread. And I think Justin said he's got Alabama to score first. I think he might be saying 35-14 final is what it looks like. And I don't think those are odds or anything. Thomas is on Washington here. And he says that Fox Big Noon kickoff. He's on Washington. Jermaine is on the under. Hello to Twisted. Hello, Twisted. Missed you over a couple of days there, and he's got North Carolina plus the points. Rich is on Washington plus the points. Robert's on Iowa minus the points. And Terrell says Iowa covers in their game. And Doge says Iowa. All right. And let's keep it rolling right now. Keep these winners coming, hopefully, here with Miami of Ohio here on the road, taking on Eastern Michigan. We're starting to get that was it for the noon games. Here comes another added board game right now with Lafayette. Not Louisiana Lafayette. This is Lafayette. They're taking on Georgetown today. Lafayette is looks like they're going to be about a 15 or 16 point favorite here. With that steam coming in, there looks like they're steaming maybe 15 points or higher with Lafayette. Pardon me, gang. Okay, let's keep it going right now. Been a rough week here. With, Miami of Ohio here, as I said, going up against Eastern Michigan. We're now at 2 p.m. Eastern and 11 a.m. Pacific in this one. You got Miami O, a 3-point favorite, total of 46.5 in this one. Just have no trouble finding this one on your rotation. This is the top of the board right here. I'm going to take Miami of Ohio on the road minus 3 points as my play in this Maction game. You got Miami of Ohio coming in 1-4 here, and they're a 3-point favorite. Eastern Michigan is 4-1, 5-0 against the spread. They are a 3-point dog. I don't know much, but I know I love this game. And I don't know if I love this game. It's a free play right here, but come on. The 1-4 team is favored by 3 points over the 4-1 team. You got to give me Miami of Ohio here. I got to trust this line at this point. Give me the Red Hawks and lay those points on the road. Howard is getting steamed right now. Howard here is, let's see what their matchup is. They are playing Sacred Heart. And they're going to probably be a 7.5-point favorite here right now. They got steamed at 7, minus 120. It was as high as 7.5 earlier in the week, went down to 6.5, but we're seeing the move back here on Howard against Sacred Heart. All right. Keep it going here right now. I am on Miami of Ohio. Let's see if you guys have any picks. Thomas is on Miami of Ohio. If it ain't foreign, it's boring. Says, no soccer, no problem. This is the biggest game of the year. Terrell says, man, it was good times when we used to drive down to Tijuana to bet early in the game. See, I would go on Friday afternoon to get all those bets in, but I loved watching games in Tijuana. I love going to Tijuana. I'd go to Tijuana. I might visit a few of the clubs, if you know what I mean, get the bets in, and maybe even have a little dinner and maybe go to the Super Ocho Hotel. All right, Albany and Bryant is seeing steam right now in an added board game, FCS action. They're steaming the total under 56. Albany and Bryant. It was as low as 54.5, was climbing during the week, and then here comes the steam back down on the under here with Albany and Bryant. We'll keep you abreast and get you some plays here. Taylor fade, that's up to you, but I'm going to give you the latest moves here on the morning steam. All right, let's keep it going right now with big game. Well, yeah, it's a nice game, right? But this is a game that seems like is getting a lot of attention from the public here, talking this week. Look, I'm big on California, but even I got to admit, there's no doubt the talking point is the situation for Cal. They got to keep making these trips back east. It's got to wear on you a little bit. I just like Cal. They are 3-2. They're 3-2 against the spread. Pitt's 5-0, 5-0 against the spread so far. Cal's 1-4 to the under so far this season. And get a little bit more steam. This is on a big board game here right now. Northern Illinois and Bowling Green. We're seeing steam under 47 here at this point. It was a little bit higher than that, but we're seeing this one move lower right now. We'll get to it. Northern Illinois and Bowling Green. Here we're seeing steam on the under. It's the next game up, so I don't know why I got all excited just because it popped up on the screen over here, but it is the next game on my board. Let me give out the winner here in this one, Cal and Pitt. I'm going to go under 58. Let's just say I'm probably going to do what everybody's doing. Handicappers, this is the biggest one-sided game for handicappers today for sure. Check out my consensus report. It's just a couple of bucks over at winnable.com. You can check it out over there with me, but you can get the plays from over 350 plays. If you just go get that package, you could just follow me there. That you can get it for just $2, or you can subscribe to my picks today and get all those packages as well. But this was the most highly recommended game by handicappers today. Pittsburgh by far today. I'm showing it was as high as 36-3. Handicappers running 12-1 ratio for Pittsburgh in this game. That hasn't really reflected, feels like, right, too much in the line for the most part, because Pittsburgh has been pretty much a 3-point favorite all week. In fact, maybe the move has actually been on Cal. Could the Sharps be holding the line here against it, or are the books holding the line and figure the public and all the experts are wrong in this game? I'll take the under 58 with Cal and Pittsburgh. All right, we just mentioned, let's see, you got some picks here from you guys. With Thomas on Pitt, Jermaine likes the under. Kirk Gray is here today, and he likes the Hong Kong club for the money line. I don't know how many Tijuana fans I've gotten here, but Kirk Gray says, give me the Hong Kong club on the money line in this one. All right. Robert was on Cal in that game. Let's keep it moving right now with that game I just mentioned, Northern Illinois and Bowling Green. Look, I was going to give out the under here, so I guess a little bit awkward for the steam to come rolling in here in this one, but I'll just give it out as my play. That's what I was going to do. Feels like I'm going to maybe was saving it for a premium, but I'm not sure how far that total is going to go. I'm stuck here on the show. So let me go ahead and give it out here as my play between Northern Illinois and Bowling Green. Handicappers are clearly on Northern Illinois in this game. They're 3-2, 3-1-1 against the spread so far. Both teams coming in averaging 28 points a game. Bowling Green 3-2, 2-3 to the number so far. Northern Illinois has the better defense in points allowed anyway. And the total here, like I said, showing 47 on the screen, but I think we're heading to 46 here right now with Northern Illinois and Bowling Green, and I'm going to take the under in this one now currently at 46. Okay. Thomas on Bowling Green, Public Enemy. Take Cal. Akron and Western Michigan here. You got Western Michigan favored in this one by 9.5. Got a pretty ugly game here in the MAC. I don't know about who's going to cover this one. Western Michigan is 1-4 against the spread so far. Akron, they're 1-5, but 2-4 against the spread. Maybe Akron will get the money here, but I'm going to take the under. Handicappers are pretty solid here in the under. If you can get an ugly MAC game and you get a bunch of cappers kind of rolling on one way, I already was liking the under here in this one. Akron's offense has been pretty bad, averaging just 15 points a game so far. So I'm going to go with the under 50 here. It was as high as 53, so missed out on some value here. So I'm just going to keep it as a free play and go under with Akron and Western Michigan. So will Robert. All right, next up is Louisville taking on Virginia here in this one. You've got Louisville, 7-point favorite, and the total 55 here. It's dipped a point. Handicappers kind of preferring the over here. I'm preferring the over as well in this game. You got Louisville averaging 38 points a game so far this season. They've gone over in 4 of their 5 games, and they're expected to win here against Virginia. Handicappers I follow, though, relatively split in this matchup. Virginia comes in 4-1, 3-1-1 so far against the spread, averaging 29 points per game coming into this one. And I'm going to take the over here at 55. Here's Robert. He likes UVA against the spread here. Take the points at home. And so does Thomas. He likes UVA in this one. Old Dominion's going to take on Georgia State. We're going to give a pick here on every game, even with 1-4 Old Dominion. They are 2-3 against the spread. They're getting a couple of points here in this one. I'm going to end up going under 55 here. Both defenses have been giving up some points, but I don't know. Georgia State is a 2-point favorite. I might be saving a little something here on Georgia State. They are just 2-2, 1-3 against the spread. Handicappers I follow like the over at a 2-1 ratio, but I'm going to fade my friends here today in this one. You don't need to pay for the picks. I've paid for them all already, and I'm telling you exactly what all the biggest names in the tout world are on here today. That's the way I cover it here on the Morning Steam. So Old Dominion and Georgia State showing right now up to down to 53.5. This feels like a bargain here for me right now. Make sure of that. Oh, man. Nope. Heading down. Okay. I stand corrected, but it is 53.5, and I better update it. So they're seeing it the way I am after all. But I just, I was unsure about the side. I had a premium. And then I said, I'm going to give out that on the show. No, I'm going to give out the under, and I'm glad I am taking the under on the show. We're losing a few points here in this one with Old Dominion and Georgia State. All right. Let's see here. With Thomas, he is on Old Dominion. Terrell says he likes Georgia State to win this one by a touchdown. And if it ain't for, I think the ones are the ones that are out there charging for their picks on those sites that I'm not on anymore. No, I think those are the best, actually. But hey, we're doing it this way now here. Thomas says I got it at 54. Beat me to it. Okay, keep it rolling here. And we'll also keep you posted on some steam with Pennsylvania taking steam here against Bucknell. I would imagine that Penn was getting steamed at minus 17 or more here. They're going to be up probably to 18.5 at this point. Penn against Bucknell. Penn taking steam right now against Bucknell. Keep you posted on these. All right, next up is Cincinnati taking on Central Florida. Pretty nice game here with Central Florida. I tell you one thing that we're seeing is all the small soccer matches over in the UK are getting postponed here for sure. Must be some weather going on, but that keeps interrupting my steam over here with these soccer postponements. All right, Cincinnati taking on South Florida. Cincinnati is a huge handicapper side today. I'm showing well over 12-1 handicappers preferring Cincinnati here today. And, I'm going to agree with them. We're not getting the best of it for sure. I saw this one. I saw it as high as 6.5 very early on. Those got taken out right away. Been mostly 3.5 here this week. Now down to 3 even here with Central Florida favored. So I'm just going to take Cincinnati here as my play. Plus the points feels like I'm missing out here. And it's definitely down to 3. I'll update it on the screen and make sure that, we kind of give out the best line here. All right. Let's see what else we've got here. Jermaine maybe on the under, twisted like the over there in that MAC game. And Jermaine, he works at the University of Pennsylvania. How about that? Nice. Well, I mean, he should be he should go to the game today, but we know Jermaine going to a bunch of games. Okay. I'm on Cincinnati here in this one. Purdue and Illinois. Let's get them bigger here a little bit in the Big Ten. Certainly today with Purdue here on the road. A big underdog at 22 points. And the total has gone down here to 47 or so, it looks like. I'm showing handicappers preferring Illinois here by about a 2-to-1 ratio. And, well, I prefer Illinois too. This number is, it feels quite ridiculous, actually, but I'll still lay it in this one. I probably wouldn't lay it as a premium pick here. And I wasn't sure on the total, so I got to kind of give out Illinois here, minus 23 against Purdue in this one. Illinois is 4-0-1 against the spread so far. Purdue, they're 1-4 against the spread. Illinois also is 1-4 to the under this season. Got some added board steam here coming in. It's on Davidson today. Davidson here in their game against, let me see here. I think I had it against Dayton. Davidson here plus 2.5 or so right now. This one's been all over the place. Davidson opened a favorite. Dayton moved to a 4.5 point favorite, and now it's back down here probably to 2 or 1.5 as the money comes back in on Davidson. You'll have to interpret that one for yourself, but I'm giving out the steam here at least, talking Davidson taking the action right now against Dayton. All right, we got anything Purdue and Illinois here? Hey, Big Mouth Rob is here. Great to have Big Mouth Rob today, and he's got Bucknell. Appreciate that, Big Mouth Rob. He's taking the points today against Penn. Robert McCormick likes Purdue in this one against the spread, but Public Enemy is going to lay the points here with Illinois. And Big Mouth Rob says Purdue don't cover. San Jose State and Colorado State in this one. You got San Jose State opened the favorite here. It's moved to Colorado State. I like Colorado State to win this one over San Jose State. Sure, San Jose State's done a pretty nice job so far this season, 4-1. 4-1 against the spread so far, but I'm going to take Colorado State here in this one, and we got breaking news on this game right now. The steam is coming in right this second on the under in this game. It was 56. We're definitely going to be moving here to 55 in this one, and man, that does seem like the right move here. Hint, hint, it's definitely a candidate to make my board here. Haven't sent out my afternoon updates yet. You'll be getting those here as I kind of tune into those early games. As soon as we get off the air, package up those 3:30 Eastern games here for the subscribers. So please check me out over at Winnable, but I'll take Colorado State here in this one. Handicappers are relatively split. I'm showing Colorado State here. About 60% of the cappers I follow on them, but nearly 3/4 of the tickets are on Colorado State. 2/3 of the tickets are on the over here. We just saw that steam come in on the under with San Jose State and Colorado State. All right. And you guys say take San Jose State here in this one. If it ain't boring, it's boring. Says go over here in this one. And what else? Big Mouth Rob says, what do we think about Wake Forest covering today? Well, we covered that game already, certainly, and I took Clemson. I took Clemson, Rob. All right. And see what else we got here. With next up, Stanford and Notre Dame. Notre Dame, a 22.5 point favorite here in this one. The total 45.5. I've got this one going over as my pick here. Stanford's gone under in 4 of their 5 games so far, but they're obviously 3 touchdown underdog here to 4-1. Notre Dame ranked in the top 15, certainly in the country still right now, despite that loss. Notre Dame averaging 32.5 points per game so far. They are 3-2 against the spread. Stanford 2-3 to the numbers so far. I'm going to take the over though with Stanford and Notre Dame. And let's see here. Thomas is on Notre Dame. And Big Mouth Rob says, I like Vanderbilt today on the money line. Hurry up, Ramon. Get to that Vanderbilt game. And he says, team them up with LSU. All right. Coming up. Oh, Robert also here. He's on the Irish in this one. I'm showing handicappers pretty light. Not a popular play by handicappers one side or the other. I'm showing them on Notre Dame here today. Texas and Oklahoma in the big Red River rivalry game here in this one. Quentin Ewers will make the start. We just got word down. I think we knew that Ewers was going to be getting the start here, but obviously was listed, I believe, on the injury report here with that abdominal strain, but he will make the start here in this one, upgraded to probable. We have seen a reaction from the line here. Was 15, now up to 17. The total still mostly at 49 or so, which is down from the opener, certainly. So interesting that the line has moved 2 points since we've seen Ewers announced as the quarterback, but the total really has not moved any. So I don't know. He doesn't play defense. So handicappers here, relatively split. Maybe they were slightly leaning Oklahoma in this one, but man, I want to delay the points here. But man, at 17 now, I guess I'll still do it. I was going to do it. I'm still going to do it. Handicappers prefer the under here by a 5-2 margin in this one at the Cotton Bowl at the Texas State Fair. Let's see what you guys have in the big one here between Texas and Oklahoma. One of the big ones, certainly. Texas coming in 5-0, 1-0 in conference. Oklahoma obviously has a loss in SEC play here so far. It's so tough to say, SEC game here between these two teams. So Texas has outscored their opponents about 7-1 in points so far this season. And Longhorns always fare well in some of their neutral site games, but we know the Oklahoma's had the better of this series of late. They've won 7 of the last 9 Red River rivalry battles here. The underdog has gone 8-4 in this series over the last 12 meetings. But for me, I'm still going to take Texas to roll here in this one and lay the big points. Thomas is on Texas. Public Enemy went under in the Stanford game. He also likes Oklahoma here. Robert says, give me OU here at on the spread. If it ain't foreign, it's boring. Says, where would you find 17? I'm showing 17, maybe 16 and a half now here. A little bit of buyback here on Oklahoma, but what happened ain't, if it ain't foreign is just about like I said, I think we all knew that Ewers was going to be the quarterback, but just about, maybe a half hour ago. Now, I saw it, 4 days ago, they were saying he was going to return to the lineup, but they did put out the official word and the line moved here right now. I'm showing, almost red across the board that it's moved here in just a little bit. In the last couple of minutes. Want to say hello and welcome to new member ZC33. He's an Eagles fan there. Thank you. All right, I'm taking Texas here. Looks like we're on OU in the chat. All right, my San Diego State Aztecs are going to take on the Wyoming Cowboys in this one. See steam come in on Wyoming earlier this week. I don't know why. Wyoming looks pretty bad here at this point. Even San Diego State might be able to get their offense on track here a little bit. It feels like against Wyoming. San Diego State comes in 2-3, 2-3 against the spread. Wyoming 1-4, 1-4 to the number. They are 4-1 to the over so far this season. I'm going to take San Diego State here to win this game on the road against Wyoming today. They haven't been great, I know that, but I do like this matchup for San Diego State today. Wyoming comes in averaging just 16 points per game, and they might get more than that today, but see here what you guys have, if anything, in this one. And Robert says he's got the Aztecs to win. I'll take him as well. All right, next up, big one here, Penn State and USC at the Coliseum. And USC is an underdog here by 4 points. It was higher for sure earlier this week, as much as a 6-point favorite. Handicappers I follow slightly leaning towards USC, and they firmly believe in the under in this game. And Penn State comes in ranked 7th right now in our rankings. They are 5-0. Straight up 2-3 against the spread. Penn State's gone under in 4 of their 5 games so far this season for USC. They come in just 3-2, but pretty tough games, certainly. They're near the top 10 still coming in. 3-2, 3-2 against the spread so far. I've got USC here plus the points as my play here on the show. It's down to 3.5 here at a lot of places actually right now, and that total of 51 has been rising here this week. I show it was as low as 47.5, the opener at Bovada. So we've seen a move to the over, but handicappers I follow are clearly on the under here. Jermaine says, give me the under in this one. Public Enemy says SC and the under. We'll keep it rolling. We're here with Memphis and South Florida. This may be a write-in for you guys. Maybe remember this game was supposed to be played yesterday, and I think who told us about the site change there for the game? I think they said they're going to meet in Orlando in this game. So it certainly still, South Florida, the home team, but you have Memphis, just a big favorite here. And if anything, the spread has kind of moved maybe because of the move to a neutral site. Bucknell and Penn, we're seeing steam there on Jermaine's Quakers. We already talked about the side, but we're also seeing a move on the total here over 52.5. I would imagine this one's going to go to 53.5. Here, Bucknell and Penn. So steam on Penn and the over. All right, and I'm going to take Memphis here in this one. I probably was going to lay, 7.5 or whatever it was when this game was being played at South Florida, but now that it is a neutral, it's in Orlando. But I'm going to take Memphis here. In this one, that total of 60 right now looks pretty high. Actually, that might make my card later on. All right, Terrell says he told us about the game in Orlando. Robert says go over in this one. And if it ain't foreign, it's born back on that SC game there. I think he's laying an alternate line, big money on USC. All right, a little bit of MAC action here with Ohio taking on Central Michigan. And in this one, you've got Ohio here on the road at 1.5. It was as high as 3. Now it's 1.5. I like Central Michigan here in this one, plus the points. Both teams come in with a 3-2 record thus far. Ohio is 3-2 ATS, while Central Michigan just 1-3-1 ATS. Central Michigan probably the better offense here. I'm going to take Central Michigan to win this game. Here in this one against Ohio U. And see if you guys, okay, you guys are running out of gas. I'll just move on to the next game. Maybe nobody cares about that game. Both teams 3-2 right now, though. Arizona here taking on BYU. You have BYU, 3-point favorite in this one. They were a 4-point favorite, so maybe a little move to Arizona here. Handicappers that I've seen strong on the under in this one, but man, really? I would think BYU should be able to, continue to put up points the way they're going right now. Maybe the ceiling has been reached. I don't know. BYU's 5-0, 5-0 against the spread. Arizona is 1-4 to the under so far. They're also 1-4 against the spread. I'm taking BYU here minus the points against Arizona here in this one. No comments from you guys. I wonder if I'm even on the air anymore. I am. I'm here. It's open to hear. There we go. Somebody's coming in. And Doge says, give me the Wildcats in this one. Thanks, Doge, for joining us. He's on X today. Next up, Mississippi State taking on Georgia. You got Georgia, 34-point favorite here in this one. Not pretty, but nonetheless, Georgia here, big favorite. And I'm going to take them to roll here. I would imagine Mississippi State probably going to end up with, maybe one touchdown. I guess they're expected to maybe get 2 scores here, maybe a touchdown and a field goal or so. It feels like, to me, Georgia will have their way in this one. I'm taking them minus 34 points here, despite their 1-4 spread record thus far. Georgia's gone 1-3 to the under so far. Mississippi State 1-4 straight up, but 2-3 against the spread. They've gone over in 3 of their 5 games. Duquesne and St. Francis. We talked about the side getting steamed in that one, and now I'm showing. Just the total getting steamed here, under 50. Duquesne and St. Francis on the added board. 50 is going down here to 49, it looks like. Stay tuned. We'll have a more added board steam for you here on the morning steam. I'm taking Georgia, lay 34. Southern Miss is going to take on UL Monroe, and UL Monroe is a 7-point favorite in this one. Was mostly 6 and moved higher, but I show handicappers certainly preferring Southern Miss in this one by about a 6-1 ratio coming in. Southern Miss is just 1-4 straight up, and Monroe is 4-1 straight up. But Monroe's 1-4 against the spread so far. I expect points here in this game, despite that little 41 there, one of the lowest totals, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, Monroe comes in averaging 20 points a game, and Southern Miss is allowing 31 points per game. So I would think Monroe will have a pretty good time of it. But I like Southern Miss to be able to score some points here too, despite averaging just shy of 16 points per game. I like Southern Miss to hang in there in this one, and I don't think it's going to be because of their defense. All right, let's get to a game everyone can maybe have a pick on here, with Florida taking on Tennessee in a classic matchup here, with Tennessee favored by 2 touchdowns in this one. And the total, look at that, all the way up to 57 here. Hey, that's what I like. I like the over in this one. Handicappers are relatively split on the side so far. Tennessee comes in 4-1. 4-1 against the spread, number 4 ranked team here in the country right now, allowing just 9.5 points per game thus far. Florida comes in 3-2 and 2-1 ATS. And I'm going to take the over with Florida and Tennessee. Let's keep giving you some steam then, if you're not going to comment. And take a look at Murray State and Indiana State. This one, we're seeing the total move to the under here with Murray and Indiana State. It was 48.5, but right now it's 48 or lower between Murray State and Indiana State on the added board. All right. Doge says take Florida with those points here today. Take 2 touchdowns with the Gators against the Vols. Next up, we just got to keep rolling with all these games. Still got a ways to go here. We got hockey to get to. North Texas and Florida Atlantic in this one. And we're seeing right now it is Florida Atlantic, an underdog here by 5 points. This one opened mostly 6, 6.5. Circa, though, did open this game as high as 8 for North Texas. So we've definitely seen a bit of a move here to Florida Atlantic. I like Florida Atlantic in this one. Maybe I was hoping for a little better number now. So I'm going to give it out as the free play here. I still like Florida Atlantic. They are 2-3, 2-3 against the number as well. North Texas comes in 4-1, 3-2 against the spread so far. North Texas has gone over in 4 of their 5 games so far this season. They're averaging almost 41 points per game, but the move here has clearly been on Florida Atlantic, and I'd say it's also been to the under. It was as high as 60.5, and now we're looking here at 59. UTSA taking on Rice here next up, and you've got UTSA favored by 3.5, maybe 4 here in this one. I'm showing handicappers strongly prefer the under in this game, and that's great. The total has only been going higher, it seems like, this week. I like the under as well. I couldn't get behind a side just yet. I don't know if I'm going to make it to a side. I'm giving out the under here. I think this is a strong play, actually, between Texas, San Antonio, and Rice. UTSA 1-3-1 to the under so far. We know Rice has both teams have struggled against the number. Rice is 1-4 straight up and ATS. UTSA 2-3 and 1-4 ATS so far. So I like the under here in this one at 51 for sure. I'm surprised it kind of moved higher. I kind of want to use it as a premium, but like I said, I like to give out one play on every game. So I'll use my best play here in this one with UTSA and Rice to go under. Handicappers were clearly on the under, it felt like, as well. And getting a good number. All right, you guys are tired out already. I'm a little washed myself, but hey, Air Force taking on New Mexico here. New Mexico is up to a 7-point favorite. That's a move that I also liked this week. They were as low as 4.5 early on this week, but I like New Mexico here to win this one against Air Force. They've certainly struggled right now. Air Force 0-5 against the spread so far. New Mexico just 1-4 straight up, but 3-2 ATS. Might be a little bit tough to swallow here with New Mexico, a full touchdown favorite. So I'll just lay it here on the show and take New Mexico over Air Force here in this one. All right. Appreciate you, Doge. You're Jewing me here in this one. And he says, take New Mexico and lay the points, I think is what he's saying right there. All right. Next up, Washington State taking on Fresno State here, and I'm going to probably like the side here on this one. So I'm going to go with the total here over with Washington State and Fresno State. Washington State comes in averaging almost 42 points per game so far. Fresno State averaging 31 points per game so far. So I would have to think this one's going to get well into the 60s here in this one, especially Fresno State. They're an underdog here, and they're going to be live, I would think, in this game here, gang. Yeah, Washington State 4-1. Fresno State 3-2. They're both 3-2 against the spread. I've got the over here with Washington State and Fresno State here in this one. All right, next up, I'm just going to keep going. If no one has any comments for me, I know we still got an audience here. I see it in the numbers there. Looks like we got about, close to 100 of you still hanging out with me. So let me keep giving out some plays here. Arkansas State and Texas State. This one now up to 66 here. I like the over. Liked it better when it was lower, but here we missed out. I wait till Saturday to do this show. I guess we could give out the plays earlier in the week. But, I know it's tough for everyone. Not everyone likes to tie up their money, make all these plays, whatever the case may be. I'm going to go over with Arkansas State and Texas State. Texas State averaging 37.5 points per game, I would think, against Arkansas State here. They are 2 touchdown favorites. So, yeah, you got to be looking at, Texas State here to get well over 40 points for sure in this one, if not higher than that. Probably expected to get close to 47, 48, 49. Here comes some steam right now in an extra board game. It's Missouri State and Illinois State. Game total over 50.5. I can get behind that, I think. Look, I thought this one probably could go to as high as 52.5 with Missouri State and Illinois State. Seeing the total get steamed here in that one this morning. That's a 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 Pacific game, Missouri State and Illinois State getting steamed to the over. All right. See what we got right now. Doge says, take Fresno. And I'll keep moving along here. I went over with Arkansas State and Texas State. Ole Miss taking on LSU. Big game here between top 15 teams here. Certainly Ole Miss slipping a little bit with that loss. They're 5-1 straight up, but 5-1 against the spread so far. LSU, they're 4-1 and 1-4 against the spread. So I'm going to take Ole Miss here, lay the points on the road at 3.5 or so. Ole Miss has gone under in 5 of their 6 games so far here this season. This one right now at 62.5. Ole Miss favored by 3.5. 2/3 of the tickets are on LSU so far, and 2/3 of the tickets are on the over. In this one, I'd show handicappers favoring LSU here just slightly, maybe by 1.5 to 1 margin, maybe 2 to 1 here. And also, they also are leaning to the under here in this one. I'm just going to take Ole Miss and lay 3.5 points against LSU. And Doge says, I got LSU to win this one outright. Chip Kelly doesn't lose home games right now. Here's Appalachian State taking on UL Lafayette. And Louisiana's a 10-point favorite here in this one. They were as low as 7 on the opener. In fact, DraftKings opened it up as low as 6. I like Louisiana here to beat App State. I would think they could put up a relatively good number right now. Louisiana comes in 4-1, averaging 34 points per game, but App State's allowing 39 points per game. So I'm going to end up taking Louisiana here, minus 10 points. App State's 1-4 against the spread so far this season. So give me Louisiana minus 10. All right, the big one now between Ohio State and Oregon. Ohio State number 3, Oregon number 6. Big time game here in Eugene tonight. And total moves up here to 54. I'm showing handicappers pretty much preferring the under here in this game. I'm with them. I'm taking the under in this one with Oregon and Ohio State. Ohio State allowing just a touchdown per game this season. Yeah, it's going to be tougher here, certainly in Oregon, but I've got to think this one's going to be played in the 40s here tonight. saw some opinions earlier on this game, so no problem if you guys don't have much here. You guys gave out some opinions earlier. Both teams come in 5-0 here in this one, but Oregon is 1-4 against the spread here so far, but they are the dog getting the points in this one. And Doge says he's got the Ducks. Just me and Doge here at this point, going over some plays here. Handicapper's pretty heavy on Oregon in this one. We got to keep moving and get this show over with. Oregon State here taking on Nevada on the road, and going to have Oregon State favored here by 3. They were definitely higher, as much as 4, 5, 6. Even DraftKings opened them even higher than that earlier this week, as high as 8.5 on some early release numbers here. That wasn't, I don't think, necessarily this week, but nonetheless, it's been on the move here towards Nevada. I'm sure they're going to be live to win this game. It feels like to me. Nevada comes in here right now with just a 2-4 record, but I figure they're going to be involved in this game against 4-1 Oregon State. Oregon State's 2-3 against the spread so far. Nevada, despite that 2-4 record, is 4-2 against the spread. So they feel pretty good as a home dog here, probably. But give me the under in this one. I'm showing handicappers preferring the over, so I'm against my friends here, I think, in this one. Relatively split on the side. Cappers may be leaning Nevada here at home in this one. Tickets are running slightly in favor of Nevada. Vanderbilt will take on Kentucky. And wait a minute. Kentucky's favored over superpower Vanderbilt? What? Didn't they watch the game last week? Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm calling Alabama still number 1 here right now, but look, I'm just trying to look at the big picture here and the way things are starting to unfold. Vanderbilt comes in a 12.5 point favorite against Kentucky. Didn't they watch what was going on? You guys convinced me. Look, I tried to go against Vanderbilt in that big Alabama game. You told me what was up in that one. So I'm going to take the over in this one. How does it not go over with our man at quarterback for Vandy, Pavia? And look, I get it. Kentucky certainly here with allowing just 13.4 points per game. So will be a little bit tough. Handicappers are preferring the under for sure, but maybe I've just listened, you guys were on my case a little bit when I tried to go against Pavia here. So I feel like I want to be contrarian. I know Vanderbilt, they've gone over in every game so far. Is Kentucky going to stop Vanderbilt just because they're at home? Look, Alabama was on the road. We get all that. But 44.5 here after what we just saw, Vanderbilt averaging 37.5 points per game. I don't know. I might be missing something here, it feels like. All right. I'm going over, though, now for sure. All right. Doe says, take Vandy. Take them with the points. This feels like what we're doing here at this point. That was no fluke. I mean, it was fluke to the certain extent that they, upset Alabama for the first time in forever, right? I get that. But wasn't a fluke necessarily when you look back at the game and how they did it, right? Okay, next up, we're almost done here with the college football picks. Iowa State and West Virginia. You got West Virginia, home dog here at +3. The total is at 54. That's up from mostly 51 earlier in the week. It was even as low as 49.5, maybe here at Circa. I'm showing heavy tickets here to the over in this one between Iowa State and West Virginia, but I'm going to end up taking the points actually with West Virginia at home +3 points. Iowa State comes in 5-0, 4-1 against the spread. West Virginia 3-2, just 2-3 against the spread here, but West Virginia still averaging 33 points per game. They've played tough opponents. Yes, Iowa State has a top 15 defense for sure, coming in here, if not stronger, but allowing just 10 points per game. I'm going to take West Virginia in this game here on the show. Doge maybe with them too. This says the fans will carry him a little bit. Marshall and Georgia Southern. You got this game at a pick, and the total 60 here in this one. You've got Marshall was a 2.5 point favorite earlier in the week, but it's moved down here to a pick 'em, and the total was also as high as 61.5, and now down here to 60. Kind of like that move, to be honest, on Georgia Southern, but I'm going to move to the total here and go under in this one. So far this season, both these teams have been involved in some pretty reasonable scoring games, but at 60 here, and I think Georgia Southern has a big chance. The move has obviously been on Georgia Southern, so that's the way I probably would look as well, but I'm going to take the under here in this one between Marshall and Georgia Southern. Both teams are averaging 30 points per game so far, but both teams have been crushing it against the spread for sure. Even though both teams are 3-2 coming in, Marshall's 5-0 to the number. Georgia Southern 4-1 to the number so far. Syracuse and North Carolina State is next up. You've got Syracuse, a road favorite here by 3. Let's call it 2 for sure right now. I'm showing this one definitely has moved down to 2. I don't know if we've seen the steam or anything come in here on this one, but no doubt the move here is on NC State. Man, a pretty big move too. I think I like them to win the game, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just go with the total here. It was 55, and I was all the way down here to 51.5. I like it under. Yeah, I like some of the moves this week for sure. Not getting the best price, so still giving it out here on the show. I don't want to, I know a lot of people just wait for the day of the game to get on these too. So still got to be honest with myself here, and still going to go under here at 51.5 with Syracuse and NC State. NC State 0-6 right now. We know the North Carolina teams have been just very bad so far this season, but I don't know. This kind of feels like the spot, if you know what I mean. I know Syracuse has been rocking, averaging 35 points per game, but I have a feeling this one's going to be the toughie here. The one they might overlook here a little bit. We'll see. Keep it rolling. We're almost done with the college football. I know you want your hockey. Minnesota here, a 4-point favorite at UCLA, and the total is 40. Man, welcome to the Big Ten here, UCLA. I guess they fit right in with these guys here at this point. I like the over. Maybe I'm seeing this one not the way everybody else is. I show handicappers kind of preferring the under as well. UCLA is a 1-4 to the under so far, averaging just 14 points per game. But I'm sure that they'll play. Minnesota will kind of play right into UCLA's hands. It feels like a little bit here. Minnesota, they are 3-3, 4-1-1 against the spread. Yes, 4-1-1 against the spread there so far. UCLA, despite that 1-4 record, they are 3-2 to the number thus far and getting the points here today from Minnesota. So I'm going to end up here. I'll take the over with Minnesota and UCLA. Handicappers preferring UCLA here for sure by, I want to say, nearly a 4-1 margin today. And Doge says, though, they're a fraud. Kansas State will take on Colorado, and Colorado is a 3-point underdog here against Kansas State. Hey, Kansas State's been obviously pretty terrific so far, 4-1. But who else is 4-1? The Buffs here right now. And yeah, maybe they're going to be an underdog, 3.5 total, 55.5 coming into this one. Let me bump in a quick steam play here from the added board. The Brown Bears. They're getting 4.5 here from Rhode Island today. Brown has been a big mover here this week. Rhode Island was as much as a 7.5 point favorite, but now they're just a 4.5 point favorite against Brown here. It looks like today on a big move for Brown. All right, with Kansas State and Colorado here in this one, I'm gonna take the Buffs on the show here now at +3. Definitely has been a mover on Colorado. Kansas State was as high as 5.5 at Bovada earlier this week, and also the stations here in Las Vegas. So I'm going to take the Buffs here today, and so's Doge. It's the Ramon and Doge show at this point. All right, we got the get out game, the late game with Boise State and Hawaii. And you got Boise State, a 3-touchdown favorite over Hawaii. And the total here is down to 60. I'll just take the total to go under here. Yeah, Boise's gone over in all the games, and they're going to be rolling with their running game certainly here. Hawaii does it differently. They love to pass. So you got a big contrast of styles. Boise State here, one of the talks of the nation. Quite honestly, this hurts them, I think, a little bit to have the late game. Maybe it doesn't, because people still might find a way to, watch this one or so. But they have the best running back in the country statistically. Maybe some of the other guys in the big conferences are better but it feels like this guy's going to be an impact player at the next level as well, in Ashton Genty. And he'll have another big game, I'm sure, against this Hawaii defense. They're favored by 3 touchdowns. Boise State has gone over in all 5 games so far this season. Hawaii, with that passing game or whatever they're running right now, they are 1-4 to the under so far this season. Boise, one of the top offenses in the country, with 50 points per game so far this season in their 5 games. But I'm going to go with the under here in this one. I'm sure Boise can roll these guys actually here tonight, and I'll take the under, however. All right. Doge says, don't do it. It's going over. Come on, Hawaii. They're not going to get stuck. Well, they'll probably get their 21 or so, I think there is what Doge is saying. All right, that's going to do it for college football. I'm sorry you guys ran out of gas there at the end, but appreciate 100 of you sticking with me there, watching all the way through. Let's get to the National Hockey League here today, where I've got some plays, and there won't be a lot of breakdowns as we get going here. Save those for the weekdays. We just got too many games here, it feels like, to get through right now. I think it's 13 hockey games, and not a lot of time to get through them. So let's just go through them right now and start off with a day contest here with the Kings taking on the Bruins in this one. And you got the Kings coming in with a 1-0 record so far. They did go under in their only game in a 3-1 victory over Buffalo to open the season. Taking on the Bruins here. The Bruins are 1-1 so far this season. They've gone over in both their games so far. Look, this total, I believe, is still 5.5 pretty much everywhere, and that's where I was going to head. I'm going with the under here with the Kings and the Bruins in the standalone game at 10 Eastern and 1 Pacific. Doge says, take the Bruins at home with Swayman between the pipes. Panthers and Sabres. The Panthers, $1.35 here on the road. The total is 6. Shaded to the under pretty much everywhere, but the South Point all of a sudden has moved to the over here. I like the over. I think we get to 7 goals here in this one. Yeah, the Panthers favored on the road. I'm just going to stick with the total as my play here in this one. Right now it is Panthers $1.35 and 6 under 20 here in this one. I think I might like the Sabres. I don't know. We'll have some plays. Certainly subscribe to my picks over at Winnable. I will have an NHL card tonight. Probably a reasonable one for sure with this big card early season. All right, Doge says, take the Sabres at home as a dog. Next up, Devils taking on the Caps. In this one, we did see some widely reported steam actually come in on the under, and I think I can change this one for sure. There's still some 6.5 under 20s out there today. Let me grab that number. I'm going to take that as my play, actually. I like that steam here in this one between New Jersey and Washington. I think this one, I should check all the goalies, of course. This one felt like the one where we might have a little bit different than the original names in goal here. No, Lindgren is confirmed, and Markstrom possibly here for the Devils. So I'm going to take the under here in this one. I'm going to respect that steam. Give me the under here. And Doge says take under as well. He likes his St. Cloud man, Lindgren. All right, man, I really appreciate Doge today being my partner here. The Hockey Club going to take on the Rangers in this one. And, man, the Rangers, a big $2 favorite here tonight. The Rangers come in off of a win, of course, in the opener of the season there, 6-0. And then, let's see. I don't know why I thought they played last. Too many games for me to even focus here. But I'm going to take the under here also in this one. We're seeing this one pretty much at a 6 flat so far in this game. Rangers did go over, or Utah went over in both their games so far, but those were to open the season here and now on the road against the Rangers and Igor. Here it feels like today I'm going to go under at 6 flat. Yep, 6 flat for sure. Rangers a $2 favorite. Just give me the under here in this one. Doe says, give me Utah right now. Got to like what they're doing here at this point with this exciting start here. Certainly right now, Utah 2-0. Arizona 2-0. Penguins and Yari take it. Yaru. Let me fix that. You got Tristan Yari in goal there against Stolars. Kind of interesting if you think about it, right? With Stolars in there, the Leafs, if anything, right, we'd think, when is it going to be? We're going to suffer through this again. And, to go out and have, pick up Stolars here as the goalie, it feels like, I don't know if that's the right option. Let me get a drink here. All right, I almost made it there without a refresher, but definitely got to take a little intermission here. We almost made it all the way through. So anyways, For Stolars, I mean, come on, this can't be a great option here moving forward with Stolars. For this team right now, he is the likely starter here today. Coming into this one, he was in the goal. He was in the goal. Uh, in that first game, certainly. And hey, look, he was fine. Certainly, it wasn't his fault necessarily. Uh, Leafs come in 1-1. Penguins come in 1-1 as well. Leafs have gone under in both of their games so far. I would imagine this one probably will be a 6-goal or less. What is it? 6.5 over 15. I'm going to take the Penguins on the puck line here at minus $1.45, and that'll be my play. I'm going to take the Penguins on the handicap, actually. Predators and Red Wings here. You got the Preds on the road. They're 0-1. The Red Wings are 0-1 as well. Predators, $1.20 favorite here in this one following their season opening 4-3 loss. Here, I'm going to end up going over in this one at 6.5. I'm showing right now 6.5 slightly juiced to the under, although South Point is now favoring the over. They've moved to 6.5 over at minus 115. No matter what, it's going to be 6.5. I'll take the over here with the Preds and the Red Wings here in this one tonight. Cam Talbot, actually, yes, he is the one in the goal. Josué Saros could be in there for the Predators in this one. For Talbot, Husso started that first game, so you will have Talbot here. He did play in that first game, if I'm not mistaken, so he'll be the starter here tonight. And, of course, he was with the Kings last season. So, all right. No picks from you guys on the hockey. It'll just be me here. Looks like rolling out Senators taking on the Canadians in this one. And you got Omar going up against Montembeault here in this one for the Senators. They are $1.60 favorite here on the road. I'm going to end up on the over here at 6 goals. Total is 6.5. It's 6.5 at a lot of places here at this point. Maybe I should at least grade it against 6.5, maybe minus 115. But I'm also showing some 6 over 20s out there. But since I'm going to give out the over, let me update it here to 6.5 under 15. I like Senators and Canadians to go over here tonight in Montreal. The Canadians so far, they are allowing 3 goals a game. They're 1-1. Senators, of course, won their only game 3-1 so far. And I am going, oh, here come the comments. Maybe it was broken. Well, this is going to be Curtis is going to think I don't know which game he was referring to. So I guess I would just say it was the over in the Senators and the Canadians. Also, I had Predators, Red Wings over, Penguins on the puck line, Utah and Rangers under, Devils and Capitals under, Panthers and Sabres over, Kings and Bruins under. Hope that's okay. And also, let's see here. Got a few more plays. Hello to Fernando. He cashed a bet with us. We're going to get Fernando somewhere where we can get all his plays here. I'm sure he put it up on a great platform. All right, next up is, let's see, Jermaine here, like the Penguins. And Doge maybe going over with me in this one. Okay, here we go. Keep it going. We're almost done, gang. Islanders and Stars here with the Stars, $1.60 favorite, and the total is 6 here in this one with the Stars. A big favorite here with Ottinger. The Stars are 1-0. They won their opener 4-3. Islanders come in 0-1. so far, or 0-1 actually. They were able to force overtime and grab a point here. They lost 5-4 eventually in their opener. I like the under here in this one at 6 goals, even though both teams did go over in their first start. I'm going to take the under with the Islanders and the Stars. Hello to Marty Riggs joining us in the chat. Thank you. Jermaine says the Habs have lost 9 in a row to the Senators. Doge says, give me the over. We're going against each other. Heads up, Islanders and Stars. And Thomas got a new phone. I'm jealous. I want to get a new phone now. Kraken taking on the Wild here. You got the Wild $1.40. Another one with the total at heavily juiced 6 under. I am showing actually 5.5 over right now at Bovada in this one. I like the Kraken actually here to win this game. I'm going to take them as an underdog today. They did lose their opener 3-2, but I'm going to grab them here against the Wild. The Wild lost their opening game also 3-2 this season. And give me the Kraken here in this one as a road dog. Doge says give him the under in this one. And yeah, that's what I was going to do, Thomas. I was going to wait until the next model came out and get the current one on discount or something. I don't know. Let's just win and get a new phone. All right. More games to come here. Blue Jackets taking on the Avalanche. And I'm going to take the Blue Jackets here on the puck line at minus $1.05, $1.10 or so, it feels like here today. Oh, it might not. Let me see if I got that right. No, plus $1.10 here. And I'm going to take the Blue Jackets on the puck line in this one against Colorado. Colorado gave up 8 goals in the first game. I'm sure they'll be fine. They're Colorado. But, hey, I'm going to take a chance here with the Blue Jackets in this one. They were able to hang in the first game and get the puck line. So I'm going to try the Blue Jackets here at plus 1.5 today against Colorado. Let's keep it rolling, get this show over with here, and let you guys get settled in for a big day of sports. Blackhawks and Oilers in this one. I'm going to take another big big puck line underdog. Give me Chicago against Edmonton in this one. We saw Edmonton give up 6 goals in their first game this season. I don't think we're seeing a big shift to some of these bad teams at this point, but does look like it's kind of caught everyone by a little bit of a surprise so far. Some of these good teams losing. I'm going to take the Blackhawks here just to keep it close in this one. They kept one of them close already. They earned a point here so far, so I'm going to take them here. Oilers, they got to score first before they can win. And this one, I don't know, feels like it could be 6 goals or less, quite frankly. All right, and next up, we're almost done. Ducks and Sharks. I've got the under here in this one between the Ducks and the Sharks. Sharks were in a slugfest, if you will, in that first game, certainly 5-4. They ended up losing that game in overtime. Remember, they were winning 4-1, and the Blues came all the way back to get that win. So I'm going to think today, maybe with the Ducks here and Luke Dostal, Ducks are $1.30 here on the road. This is the opener, right, for the Ducks, if I'm not mistaken. So give me the under here in this one. Under 6 goals tonight, Ducks and Sharks. It's right now pretty heavily juiced to the over. 6 over 20, 6 over 25 or so, it feels like. And lastly, it's the Philadelphia Flyers here on the road, taking on the Flames. And we've got the Flames here favored minus $1.30. The total is pretty much 6 in this one. And man, I like Calgary here at this price, and I'm going to have to take them. I don't know about the total. I really wanted to go with this one as a premium, but at 6 over. Even I couldn't even go one way or the other with my ratings and what I think about the goalie matchup. So it feels like this is kind of the premium to me here at taking the Flames at minus $1.30. Let me look over real quick. I just want to mention some of the goalies we know are in there. I went a little quick here. Any of them that were different than what we showed? Maybe I'll just verbalize it here because I did see a couple of names just now. Here we go. Did we do all the games? Did we do them all, gang? Just want to make sure I got all the games in there. Okay. So here it was. The Wild. There we go. Okay, I think I'm caught up here. Oh no, it is Fleury here, but it could be. Oh, it could be Joey Decord. One site is listing. Maybe it could be Decord there in goal. Ottinger is confirmed. Actually, I think that's it. I think we got all the goalies. Not many of them are confirmed just yet. Doge says, "Give me Calgary on the puck line." Jermaine says he takes Calgary in this one. All right, that's going to do it for the show, gang. There are 3 games tonight in the NBA preseason so far. And I think actually, let me see here. I think we do. I don't have the graphic for the NBA here just yet. Let me report to you. I think there was some. Let's see here. Jermaine says, "What do you have on Boston?" I have the under in the Boston game, Jermaine. I took the under in that early start between the Kings and Boston. All right. A couple of moves here that came in. Let's see. Oh, I think we got them all from all those Steam plays. Okay. I'll let you guys go on this one. Okay. Utah and San Antonio. This one was San Antonio minus 3. And the total 2. Oh my God, 215.5. I'm giving out the over here. I actually was going to send that out as a VIP play, but the Steam came in and that was a 210 total. And now is it really 215 here? 217 on that Utah San Antonio game. It wasn't 210, you guys. It was 216. I can't read my writing. Made the 6 look like a 0. Sorry if I tripped anybody up there. Also today, so that one goes off at all the games today are at 8:10 Eastern, 5:10 Pacific time in the NBA preseason. WNBA is tomorrow, by the way. Philadelphia and Boston. Boston a 7.5-point favorite. Total is 222, and I like that one to go over as well. Give me the over, Philadelphia and Boston. And the last one, I don't have a play side or total at this point, but it's Memphis and Chicago. The Bulls are at home. 2.5 total, 220. Let me just take a peek here and see if I have any. If I have it. No, I got nothing. All right. Okay, let's see here. All right, give me. No, I'm going to hold off. I'm not going to make a pick here on that one, just with the move coming in. All right, that's going to do it. What else, guys? 2 games in the CFL, Edmonton and Calgary, and BC and Saskatchewan. I just have one play so far there. I'm going to take Calgary at a pick against Edmonton tonight in the CFL, and I think that's going to do it for the show. I hope it got to everything. Hope I got a play for you in your game today. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Mornings Team. We'll talk NFL football tomorrow. Don't forget, here on the Sports Money Network at 4 I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific. Check your local listings, but we will have UFC coverage with the guys, full card coverage here this week, today from the Apex here in Las Vegas. We'll have UFC action. My picks are already up over at the Winnable app. So join me today. I'm going to give you a bunch of picks. Join me here at the Winnable app. You can click the QR code to get my plays over at Winnable. You can set your notifications and have all my best plays go directly to your phone. I spend a couple of hours with you every day here on the telecast, but all my plays, my best plays are still to come, and you can get them right to your phone just like that over at winnable.com/Ramon, or click that QR code. That'll take you right to the page. Why not sign up for my free plays? And I'm not going to spam you or anything. It just gives you an option later on to maybe get the premium plays. This is how you support me here on the Sports Money Network, on the channel here. Every day I come in and do a show, and I still run some plays here every day, my premium pick plays over on the Winnable app. So Tout Life, hashtag Tout Life here today. All right, that's going to do it. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off all my packages over there at Winnable. If you want to save 20% off, $3 today. I'm going to raise the price here. You better get over there. I'm going to raise the price in the next 15 minutes. So go get it for $3. Get all my plays today. I've already sent out a 4-pack for the early games and my UFC full card predictions with winner, round number, and how they're going to win as well. So please check me out. All right, you did check me out for 2 hours today here on the Morning Steam, and I'm very appreciative of it. Over 100 of you watched most of the show today, so just appreciate you. Count me back tomorrow here on the show with NFL football and more here tomorrow. We'll also take a look at that WNBA games. Check me out here on the Morning Steam for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.